Hey everyone, welcome to another video here on my channel. Thank you for tuning in with me today. For today's video, what I wanted to talk about are my favorite go-to vegan snacks. So I have this little basket full of my favorite vegan goodies, and I wanted to talk about when you're in situations where you're away from home, you haven't really planned in advance for your vegan meals or your healthy meals, even in situations where you're out for a day trip or if you're away for the weekend or you're traveling and you can't necessarily bring all of your food with you. So I was kind of thinking about, situations where you're really hungry and there's nothing for you to eat, there's no vegan restaurants, and you haven't packed any of your food. I wanted to share with you some of my go-to items that I will look for at regular grocery stores, even gas stations. Of course, ideally, the best thing that you can do if you can plan in advance, if you know you're going to be away from your house all day, if you're not sure if there's going to be any vegan restaurants or places that you can get something healthy and plant-based to eat, the best thing that you can do, of course, is to bring some snacks with you if you can. I do this often, actually, even if I'm just going shopping or if I'm spending like a whole morning or a whole afternoon doing errands. I'll usually bring like a little backpack and pack a few of my own snacks. I always have a bag of raw nuts like this. So this is a mix of pecans and cashews. I'll always keep a bag of these on hand for when I'm kind of running around, if I know that I may not have immediate access to plant-based or healthy food, if I'm not sure what the food situation is going to be like when I'm out for the day or out for a whole morning or afternoon. I'll often bring a bag of raw nuts with me. So these are unsalted, they don't have any added oil or anything like that. Both of these types of nuts I get at Costco in the big bags, and things like trail mix and seeds and like even raisins and dried fruit and things like that. You can often get them fairly easily at gas stations, at regular grocery stores, at little convenience stores. So if you find yourself in a situation where you're starving and you're desperate and there's no vegan restaurant and there's no health food stores, you can probably still get your hands on some type of nut. If somewhere like a gas station or a convenience store doesn't have like your ideal nice organic raw nuts, you can probably still get something like peanuts or sunflower seeds or pistachios, or I've seen like the pre-packaged trail mix. So if you're in a situation where you have nothing else to eat, that's a great option. If you're near to a health food store or a larger grocery store, you'll probably have a lot more selection, but nuts are definitely a go-to item of mine when I'm out traveling or if I'm out on the road, if I'm gone all day. Nuts are a great source of healthy fat and protein, so they're going to help to keep you a little bit more full, a little bit more satisfied. So you may not be as inclined to reach for like something like chips or like the junk food type snacks. So that's my first go-to item. Another thing that you can pack with you if you're able to is fresh fruit. So I just have a little banana here, something like a banana, apple, clementines, oranges, fresh cut fruit in a little container, and take that with you. That's a great option if you're able to pack for it in advance. Of course, if you can stop off at a grocery store, you're gonna have your, full selection of fruit to choose from. So if you're on the highway and there's like nothing else around, you're in the middle of nowhere, I'm sure you'd be able to find a grocery store which obviously is gonna have a ton of different fruit to choose from, which kind of leads me into my next point. Fresh veggies are another great option, and often what you see at grocery stores are like the fresh cut veggies. So you can actually buy like a little container of carrots that are peeled, sliced cucumbers, celery. Another great thing to grab at a grocery store in a pinch if you're starving and there's nothing else is these little single serving containers of something like hummus or guacamole. And like I said, you can usually find fresh cut veggies at the grocery store. You can dip those veggies in something like hummus or guac, and it's gonna help you feel a little bit more full. You're gonna get a little bit more calories, protein, and fat to help you feel more full. Another thing you can grab at the grocery store to have with your hummus or guacamole that goes great with like veggies and dip are crackers, of course. So at a grocery store, there's going to be tons of different cracker options. Ideally, you might want to grab something like the Mary's crackers. So these are, of course, vegan, organic, and I really like these because the majority of the cracker is made from different seeds. So these ones have sesame seeds, flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, and sunflower seeds. So once again, they're going to be a little bit higher in fat and calories, and it's going to help to keep you a little bit more full while you're on the road. If you don't have immediate access to a full vegan meal, a perfect thing to do is stop off at a grocery store. You can grab a box of crackers, something like this. You can get your hummus, your guacamole, and maybe some fresh cut veggies, and that's gonna be a substantial enough snack to sort of keep you full enough to tie you over until you can sit down and have a nice full vegan meal. Another thing that you should be able to get fairly easily at a regular grocery store are something like these. So these are the single serving pre-cooked quinoa. I've also seen these with brown rice in them, so that's a great thing that you can grab. These are ready to eat. You can eat them hot or cold. So if you can see on the side here, the little container of quinoa, all you have to do is just peel off the lid. You could even mix in some of your guacamole, you could mix in some of your hummus, and that's gonna give you a little bit of a healthier snack option as well. So something like the ready-made quinoa or brown rice would be another quick sort of option that you should be able to grab at a regular grocery store. My husband and I went on a ski trip. It was about 5-6 hours up north with some friends of ours. So we were driving on this, Canadian highway. There was nothing around, no vegan food. Like there wasn't even like a pita pit or a burrito place or anything. There really wasn't anything around, and the only thing that we could pull off onto was either a gas station or a grocery store. So I'm starving at this point. We had a full day of skiing ahead, and I thought, oh my God, I have to eat something before we get there and start skiing. So we pulled off the highway and went to this grocery store, and it was like way out in the country. There wasn't much around, but I was surprised because they had this huge, beautiful health food section. Like I would love to have a grocery store like that around here. So what I grabbed, and I actually continue to buy them now, are these Lotus Foods rice ramen, and it comes with a little miso soup mix. So these are the single serving packages. So what I did was at the grocery store, they had this like little coffee stand as well. Like you could order a coffee. So I asked them to give me like a big cup of boiling water, and then I just put the ramen noodles in there. I sprinkled the soup mix in, put the lid on, and let it steam for like 5 minutes. Once that was done sort of steaming, I let the noodles get nice and soft, and then I just ate it right out of the coffee cup, and it was pretty decent in a pinch. So I actually continue to buy these, and I make them at home now when I'm too lazy to cook. But it's like, the ones you can get for like, 60 cents or 99 cents or whatever. Usually those are noodles that are fried in some type of hydrogenated oil, so I would try to avoid those if you can. Some of them are vegan, so I guess if you're desperate, but if you can't get this exact brand, you could probably get instant Thai noodle. You could also get like just the regular brown rice vermicelli, like the really skinny rice noodles. Those will soften up really nicely in just like a cup of boiling water. And if you're able to, you could even buy like a little, vegetable broth cube and throw it in there. The other thing that I had actually grabbed on that ski trip, and it was the first time that I'd ever tried a store-bought kind, were the roasted chickpeas. So it was a different brand that I got. I actually just picked these up at the grocery store today. I made my own of these before, but I never actually tried the store-bought ones. So on that ski trip, because once again I was super hungry, there was nothing around for me to eat, no good vegan restaurants, I grabbed a bag of the roasted chickpeas, and these are awesome too. These are also great too if you're looking for a more like chip-like snack, like if you want a savory snack, something that's salty and crunchy. These are really great to have. So today I picked up the barbecue ones. I've never tried this brand before. The ones that I usually get are the Good Bean, and you can get like a really big bag of them at Costco. So these are a little bit of a smaller bag, but I grabbed the barbecue ones and the lightly salted ones. So these are great in a pinch too. It's an awesome little snack item. You can get them in a lot of different flavors. So I really love these. You can get them at most regular grocery stores. You may even be able to find them at some of like the bigger, nicer gas stations. But this is something that if I'm out all day, if I'm starving, if I can't find anything else to eat, I will often look through the shelves to find something like the roasted chickpeas. And they also kind of satisfy that salty food, savory type craving. So that's definitely one that I would keep an eye out for. This next one is pretty obvious, but these are really easy to find, is some kind of energy bar, protein bar, fruit and nut bar. These you can find at pretty much all grocery stores, at most convenience stores and gas stations. My personal favorite are Larbars. So what I have here is the mint chocolate chip one. This is my all-time favorite. And then I also love the peanut peanut butter ones. The peanut butter ones are great because they have a little bit more protein and fat than some of the other ones. So Lara bars are a date and nut based bar. So by virtue of the dates, you're going to be getting a lot of fruit sugar in it. You're going to be getting a lot of carbohydrates in it. So the peanut butter ones are awesome because they have a little bit more protein and fat, which can tend to be a little bit more satisfying. So I often say to my husband when we're like out driving around, if we're out all day and there's nothing for me to eat, I'll often say to him, like, thank God Lara bars exist because they're really, really easy to get now. I've seen them at gas stations, grocery stores, convenience stores, Walmart stores have them now, which is awesome. So Lara bars save my life often. I can usually find these no matter where I am. So if I'm like starving, there's no vegan restaurants. If I need to eat like now, we'll usually pull off at like a Walmart or a grocery store and I can get a Lara bar. I can get like a little container of pre-cut fruit. I can get some nuts. So there's lots of options at the grocery store. Lara bars are my absolute staple. If they don't happen to have Lara bars, I don't mind the Cliff Energy bars. Also makes a protein bar called the Builder bar. I also don't mind Vega protein bars. The only thing with protein bars is I find that there's like a ton of ingredients in them and they don't always taste that great. I like the fact that they are very high in protein, but the thing that I find with them is that they often have a ton of other ingredients. They have a lot of other sweeteners and fillers. Even the vegan ones, like sometimes I don't love the ingredient listing on them. So if I'm desperate, I'll get a vegan protein bar, but if they have something like the Lara bars, literally all that's in these is, in the peanut butter one, it's just dates, peanut butter, and dry roasted peanuts, and then the mint chip one is dates, almonds, chocolate chips, cashews, cocoa powder, and peppermint oil. So these are gonna have a little more sugar in them because of the chocolate chips added to it, but hey, whatever. It's like a vegan treat. It's better than eating a chocolate bar. So I do prefer something like the Lara bars. These are more of a whole foods, plant-based item versus something like your protein bars, but that's something that I find really, really easy to find now. So I love the fact that these are so widespread because they save my life often when I'm starving. We live a little bit more out in the country and it's since closed, but we live on like a country concession road, and at the end of our street there was this like super old gas station. It wasn't one of these like huge beautiful brand new like well lit gas stations. It was like truly an old country gas station, and they had Lara bars like right at the front counter. It was the only thing in there that I could eat. So that's just an example. Lara bars are fairly easy to find now. They are my #1 go-to on the run staple items, so definitely check those out. So that's pretty much it. Those are all the vegan snacks that I wanted to mention, my vegan snack hacks for when you're traveling, when you're on the road, when you don't have easy access to vegan food. These are things that I'm hoping you'll be able to find at even more remote locations to help you guys stay on track with your vegan diet if you're transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle, or if you're simply just trying to eat a little more healthy. I really appreciate if you've taken some time out of your day to sit and listen to me chat about my favorite vegan goodies. So stay tuned for the next video and have a great day.